Thank you very much, Mel. Good morning, Mike Eppel. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Roger. I'm doing well. Thank you. How are you?
Excellent. And what a difference a day makes. Facebook, cryptocurrency, maybe not so much.
Yeah, this immediately drew pushback from lawmakers pretty much everywhere, actually. The Facebook plan to launch a cryptocurrency called Libra with all sorts of other corporate backers, trying to liberalize the buying and selling of goods for, almost 2 billion users of Facebook globally. The problem is that some have thought that Facebook is already too big for its britches. There's been data privacy breaches, and the company has been called on the carpet in Washington and for the most part failed to appear at a hearing in Ottawa about some of these issues. And now they're saying, whoa, you want to get larger? Some of the Democratic presidential candidates are saying, break up Facebook. Break up some of the big tech companies. So right off the bat yesterday, a couple of big names in Washington said, yeah, we want to hear from executives about this, and we'll think about giving you approval or regulatory oversight on a cryptocurrency.
So when the aliens come down to visit and they say, take me to your leader, it'll be Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg, exactly.
Holy cow. Unbelievable what they want to do with that.
It's a really interesting plan. I mean, cryptocurrencies are a thing, but it comes back to, okay, if you're allowing even more data to be collected on consumers, and Facebook, immediately said, well, this is a separate entity from the main company, and again, it's got a lot of other big players involved. It's the timing. Really, more than anything else, they haven't necessarily. They're still facing a $5 billion fine by the Federal Trade Commission in the U.S. Regarding the privacy breaches
and how
of a year ago.
healthy can it be that they have all your information and they essentially would have your money at that point too?
Well, the thing about cryptocurrencies, though, again, is the security that's involved in it. You need passcodes, you need encryption, and all this other stuff, which is good and bad because if you lose the key, then you're really.
Yep.
You can't retrieve that information. So actually, there is more security oversight. But again, it's going to have some selling to do, certainly by Facebook, to get this thing going forward.
All right, we'll see what happens with it. Trans Mountain.
Yeah.
Also, that's in the news now.
Yes, it is, because it got the green light for a second time by the federal government, which, of course, we are the owners of this $4.5 billion project. They want to twin the pipeline. It has got 146 oversight recommendations, though, by the National Energy Board, and yes, it may lead to the construction, but again, there's no firm timeline given, so industry analysts very cautious about getting too excited about the near-term prospects for this, because again, it's going to take time to build. It's going to try to alleviate the pipeline constraints, and we'll see if it actually happens. And of course, we are in the midst of a political and election cycle, so this is also a talking point on from those who are for or against pipelines.
All right, we'll let it keep busy for the next few months. And
Indeed.
Also the markets.
Yep.
Best year since 1938. You and I remember that one. End of the Great
I'm
Depression.
old, but I'm not that old.
But different since the end of the Great Depression, though, essentially.
And June is typically a quiet month, but the Dow is up 7%, best since 1938, as you mentioned, and the TSX is within 1% of a record high coming in because the talk is all of a sudden central banks might be cutting interest rates, not necessarily here, but in the U.S. We'll get a decision this afternoon, and some think that the Fed would be wise to actually cut rates today. Shock and awe. Go ahead, do it. Don't panic later. Be preemptive. And of course, Donald Trump has been saying, hey, central bank, you should be cutting interest rates. And yet he was critical of the European central bank saying the same thing yesterday.
Well, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I know, exactly. I know.
That's a good note to finish on, Mike.
Okay.
All right.